How's it? Today is May 12th, Wednesday. I woke up late this morning. I was supposed to be at the gym at 6. I got there at 7. Um, it turned out to be okay. I had a pretty late night last night, um, and so I woke up at 5. I instantly turned off my alarm, and then I guess I fell back asleep, and then next thing I knew, it was like 6:40, and yeah. So I just did what I was supposed to do, but I did it really fast. So today was just work up to 5 sets of 3 plus 1 for the block power clean and power jerk. My elbow has been okay. I mean, it's definitely been a lot better in the past, but it's just not as bad as it was like last week or the week before last week. And a couple things I learned about my elbow is that when my wrist is more or less closer to neutral, I just hit my knee there. I hit my knee there on Monday as well. I got really worried about that, but as I was saying, if my wrist is closer to neutral, so as far away from flexion and extension, then I am okay. So yeah, another thing that makes my elbow a little bit more okay. Here's my first set. The elbow would be a little bit more pained if I started pushing too soon after the dip and drive. Specifically pushing with my upper body. So you can see here that a lot of these lifts are I'm just getting the bar over my head simply with legs, and then my elbows kind of just get to the position once I reach full height. But like all in all, that's a pretty good um, progression, I guess, so far. Given that I don't think it's a good idea for me to be pressing, but I'm still able to power jerk. So that's cool. Um, I was also worried about how my elbows would be for the clean itself. Warming up for the clean didn't feel very great, but it's very similar to how the power jerk is. If I pull too early with my arms on the clean, then my elbows do feel. I guess it's not my elbows; it's my left elbow, specifically just the left elbow. Then it does feel like there is something going on there. So you can see here that some of these I'm sort of just extending, and then my arms come through kind of quickly, but not imparting force, if that makes sense. So I think it's more important here that I get proper extension so the bar goes straight or a little bit behind straight so that so I can get actual like good positioning overall. So here's my last set. Like overall, I'm pretty happy with how these felt and how these looked. Like again, my elbow didn't feel like it was gonna pop off, snap in half, explode. You know the words I always use. And then after that, I move into some deadlifts up to I think it's a heavy 3, and I get to 150. I probably should have went to 140 and stayed at 140, but I didn't, and so um, the future me is gonna be unhappy with today me. But yeah, pretty easy. I'm just doing my best to sort of maintain position from the floor because I think that's the part where I struggle the most is maintaining position from the floor. Here's 130 is my last workup set before 150. And then here's 150. I'm a little rounded forward, a little less on that one. But I think in general, if I'm trying to clean this, if I'm trying to clean and jerk this, this weight is something that should feel like I can kind of throw around. So after that, I did two other accessories. It's going to be the barbell bent over row, work up to a heavy set of 5, and then my single arm dumbbell press. I haven't done barbell bent over rows in a hot minute. I totally forgot that I normally use my belt because it puts a lot of pressure on my lower back as I lean forward. And like, I'm not intentionally bouncing here. It doesn't feel like I'm bouncing until I watch a video, then I realize that I'm bouncing. But I didn't have my belt with me. It's okay. 100 for a set of 5 is pretty good for me. And then after that, again, single arm dumbbell press. This is just to sort of push my elbow and get tricep extension so that I can sort of force blood into the joint. It's honestly doesn't hurt at all. It doesn't feel like anything. It just feels like I'm working like normally. But yeah, notes for the future: go to sleep earlier, wake up earlier, try harder, be better, stop complaining. You know, all that crap. Uh, be better at throwing my hat. I think that's a good one too. Shoots.